Welcome to Real Estate Investing Abundance, the show for busy, fulfilled professionals like you to learn how to develop financial independence built on solid, passive real estate investments. Now, here is your host, Dr. Alan Lomax.
Hello, enlightened investors. Welcome back to Real Estate Investing Abundance. I'm your host, Dr. Alan, and I am delighted to have you with us again today. It is you who make our show. Today, we are going to be talking about why it might just be really beneficial to pharmaceutical industry professionals to actually look into the opportunities that are available through passive real estate investing. And with us to talk about that topic is Christopher Price. And Chris has a lot of experience in the pharmaceutical industry. He currently serves as a pharmaceutical executive at a top 15 pharmaceutical company. And beyond his corporate role, Chris is the CEO of Red Fox Multifamily, a real estate investment company offering hands-off commercial real estate investment opportunities to safeguard the retirements of life science industry professionals. So Chris is a seasoned, accredited real estate investor himself, and he has invested in over 600 rental units. He passionately engages in empowering others through real estate investing. So, Chris, take us into the show and share a memorable experience that helped you to be who you are today.
Well, thank you for the wonderful welcome, Alan. I really appreciate it. One of the memorable experiences that I had in my life, a lot of things go back to sports. And for me, I grew up as an athlete, that played all sorts of sports: basketball, football, soccer, track and field, but my baseball. But my main sport that coming up was football. And one of the most memorable experiences that I had as I was going through my little career as a football player was actually when I was a youth, about 11 or 12 years old. Our team, our Pop Warner football team, actually made it to the national championship. And we got a chance to leave from Connecticut, where our team, the Danbury Vikings in Danbury, Connecticut, went out to California and Santa Clara to play at the stadium where the San Francisco 49ers, near where the San Francisco 49ers play. And we were going to play against a team from Bowling Green, Illinois. And that experience, to me, was such a great experience. The teamwork, the camaraderie that it took for all of us to work together to get there was just tremendous. And that actually is something that inspired me to say I didn't want my football career to end at the Pee Wee football level. I wanted to go on and play even more, and that steered me and guided me into playing into high school, and then years later going into and playing at the Division I college football level, which I had a great experience there, really playing and excelling to a level which allowed me to actually try to play professionally, but that didn't work out for me. But what it taught me was how hard people work, and it taught me that you just have to keep your mind focused and dedicated on things. And if you do that, you can work towards accomplishing your goals. And if you don't accomplish that end goal, for me was hoping to go make it to the NFL. That didn't happen, but I was able to see through my goals of being able to try out and get there. And I think that was for me just a remarkable experience to be able to have.
What a wonderful trajectory and what a wonderful experience at a very young age. You said that was that 11 or 13 that you went to
Yeah,
LA?
between yeah,
Yeah.
11, 12 years old is when
Yeah.
that was taking place. That's right.
Wow. That would be quite the experience for a 12-year-old. Did your parents go with you, or did you just go with the
They
team?
did.
They
They did.
did.
So my parents went with us, and it was a great experience. They came. They had a chance to come along and just watch the game. We did not win the game. We lost the game actually to the team, but we played hard, and just to be able to play at that level with some other talented kids both on our team and on the other team was just a remarkable experience. And there are not too many people that can say that they've had that experience. So I find that to be that's really cool in and of itself. But like I said, it was truly inspiring to be able to have that experience and then go off and to play in high school at a high level, to play in college at at a high level where I was an All-American football player and student athlete while I was at Marist College, which we'll talk a little bit more about a little later on. And that was just a remarkable experience to me. So that focus, that determination, though that drive were the things that I learned through that experience. And being coachable, being someone who can take that feedback and adapt and apply it. Those are all skills, important skills, teamwork, focus, communication. All of those things through sports are things that are extremely rewarding, and then they still pay dividends to me to this day.
Yeah. Well, wonderful experience, wonderful start in life there. Chris, why do you say that pharmaceutical industry professionals should be investing in passive real estate opportunities?
Yeah, it's this is such a great question, and it's one that I get often from investors when we talk about this. In particular, what I tell other pharmaceutical and more broadly life science industry investors as to the why, I really start with a story about myself and my wife and my family in particular. When we got into this, we were entirely exposed to the stock markets, and like everyone else, we were coached up to go to school, get a good job, and when you're at that job, make sure that you take advantage of all the benefits. Put your money, whatever you have left, and put it in the 401k, and just watch that thing grow. And of course, that some of that happened, but what they didn't never told you about on the flip side of that is that, hey, the market doesn't always go up, and it actually it can go down too. And so and we watched on a number of occasions, my wife and I watch our 401ks and IRAs and all of our other market-based investments go up and down with the volatility of the markets. And that, from our perspective, didn't provide us with the predictability of how do we make sure that we can have a stable and comfortable lifestyle when our careers are over. And then in addition to that, we also looked at how can we achieve this new idea once we were once we began learning and researching more things. How can we achieve this idea of what's known as financial freedom, that idea of financial freedom where your income from your assets and your investments replaces your earned income from in our case from our W-2s. How could we achieve that? And the answer to the question did not say 401k, IRA, or stock market investing. In fact, as we continued to research, it pointed us in the direction of real estate investing. And so I share that story because I want other pharmaceutical industry professionals, life science industry professionals to really think about what it is that they want in order to be able to accomplish their goals of achieving financial freedom. Because that way you're working because you want to work, not because you have to work. And then imagine how you show up to work when you have that capability and of knowing, hey, I'm here because I truly want to, and it's not because that little golden handcuff that they have out there in the form of a paycheck that says that's motivating me to be there. It's because I want to be here and I want to make an impact. In our case, in the impact on patients' lives in the pharmaceutical industry. Those are the things that I would say to other pharmaceutical industry professionals.
Exactly. And I also work with professionals, and I want to work with fulfilled professionals who go to work because they want to go to work. And that's what I want to help them to do, is to have that passive income so that they can make those choices and they can even more passionately engage in the works of their calling. But you're absolutely right, Chris, that we just don't get that advice. I mean, the financial planners, the financial advisors are always recommending that we keep those funds, retirement funds or excess funds that we are developing capital with, to keep them in the stock market. And it has been I had the same experiences with that, with money that I put into retirement plans, and watch them essentially just sit there. I mean, certainly the stock market has had about a 6% increase annually for 100 years or so, but 6% is not a tremendous amount of growth. And then the other thing about that is that they never tell us is that even though those taxes may be deferred, those taxes are going to come due upon retirement there. And most people have no idea that that is going to happen to them.
That's right. That's right. The taxes, the fees, the inflation, which is that stealthy thief that's out there, that's taking away from us on a daily basis. These are things that they don't coach you up on and that they don't tell you about, that are absolutely having a negative impact on your portfolios. And so when I talk about when I talk to investors about, and pharmaceutical industry professionals in particular, about why they need to be focused on this, I talk to them about the idea of cash flow, and that idea of cash flow and being able to bringing that in. I talk to them about the importance of investing in assets that appreciate in value and that have an intrinsic value. I talk about the importance of being able to have advantages in the assets that you invest in, because it's not necessarily, as you know, Alan, about how much you make, but it's about how much you can keep. And when you are a real estate investor, as a high income earner, being able to keep more of your hard-earned money through investing wisely in assets like real estate and other assets in the broader real estate class, those are the things that you want to be doing in order to help you legally reduce your tax liability, while also adding passive income in the form of cash flow, and then gradually using your income to continue to increase and build your passive income, so that ultimately replaces your earned income. And when you achieve that, Robert Kiyosaki would say you're out of the rat race, from that famous book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and all of the things there. But I say, that, and what others say, that's financial freedom. When your W-2 income can be replaced by your passive income from your investments in the form of the cash flow, the appreciation from the sale of those or refinance of the assets that passed on to you, those are the things that really make this a wonderful asset class to invest in, and focus on when it comes to passive income investing.
Enlightened investors, if you haven't done so already, be sure and click that like button, and also click that share so others can take advantage of the content. And finally, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single one of our upcoming episodes. Well, Chris, tell us, you've been talking about retirement and retirement accounts. Another thing that a lot of people don't realize is that they can have their retirement accounts, and they can use those to invest in real estate. So talk to us about how that can be achieved.
Yes, it's a great question, and one of the things that I mentioned just a few moments ago is that, my wife and I, we watched as our 401ks and IRAs were directly invested in these market-based assets, and we watched those assets go up and down. And that was not a comforting feeling. And like you said, yes, there may be a rebound a year later, months later, whatever the case may be, but on average, we're only seeing a 6% growth year over year. So is that really going to help you reach your goals, is the big question that you have. But for those savvy investors who are able to take some of their retirement money and get those monies into accounts, self-directed 401ks or solo 401ks or self-directed IRAs. This is a really wise and strategic way for you to leverage your funds from your retirement accounts and invest those into real estate projects. So just like what I tell investors is just like your 401k that you have through your company that's sponsored, yeah, through the company, that is invested into various different mutual funds, et cetera. That the same principles and rules around how you must be a certain age to tap into those resources, when you can do that, how you can do that, all of those types of things. While that applies to your the same to your investments in the 401k investments from your company sponsored plan, those same principles apply in general to your real estate. But what's different is that able to invest your 401k, a self-directed 401k or IRA, into these real estate projects, and all of the proceeds go into paying your future self in the form of these plans, which gives you the ability to diversify that income outside of the market. And that's a really key thing that folks need to focus on.
Absolutely. Well, that's one way to fund your real estate investments. What about life insurance policies? Can they be utilized?
Yes, yes. So one of the other things that we learned about as we have been investing here is that there are many other ways that folks can build wealth with real estate, and in particular, the life insurance strategy is a strategy that we learned about through other mastermind and coaching programs, and we've been using this strategy for over a year or two now as well. And this is called the dual asset strategy. But essentially, what takes place here is that you will work with a qualified firm and an institution to get yourself a life insurance policy, a whole life insurance policy that is specifically and carefully designed to allow you to, of course, take advantage of the benefits of the life insurance policy, which is, protecting over your human life value. And when that day comes where you pass, where the death benefit will take care of you and your family once you leave this earth. But you will also be able to take advantage of the opportunity to build what's called the cash value within this life insurance policy. And when you have this policy building up the cash value, you're able to borrow from the cash value of the life insurance policy. And when you borrow from that, you're borrowing it at a reasonable interest rate that then you can then invest it into other real estate projects. The cash flow from the real estate projects that you're investing in will come back to you, pay back the loan that you're taking out from your life insurance policy, and then you are rinsing and repeating that process. But what's really important to note about this is while you've taken a policy loan from yourself, you are not breaking that compound interest curve within your policy. The cash value in your policy continues to compound because you are taking a loan from the life insurance company at a, let's say, a 4% rate. But when you invest that into a real estate project at a, let's make up a number, at a 10% rate, the delta of that is then used to pay back that policy loan, and then you're able to then utilize those funds to continue to build your real estate portfolio. It's a really savvy approach to being able to invest passively into real estate.
Well, real quickly here, you've hinted at various different ways that real estate investing can pay us. Let's go into just a little bit more detail of the number of different ways that a passive real estate investment pays us.
Yeah, so real estate can pay investors in multiple different ways, and I talk about really there's a few key ways with real estate investing. You can be paid in a way where you get the payment from the cash flow from the properties. That cash flow comes in from the income of the property, and you as an investor into the types of assets that we focus on as it relates to multifamily assets. you are getting your proportional share of the cash flows of those properties. You're also getting you're getting the tax benefits, the tax benefits in the form of depreciation that gets passed on to you as an investor. Depreciation, really quickly, we talked about, when I talk about the tax benefits, we have to recognize that within real estate investing in particular, in 2017, when the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act was passed, that gave real estate investors a number of great advantages. One of those focused on bonus depreciation, and it has been agreed to that will phase out gradually over time. But we started out when that was passed at 100% bonus depreciation. This year is at 80%. Next year it will be reduced down to 60 and slowly be phased out over the next couple of years. But the importance of that is that bonus depreciation is something that can help investors legally offset their passive income gains, with through passive losses that they will receive in the form of their K-1s to offset any of the passive income gains that they have. So this is a remarkable tax benefit that we have. I'm not even going to talk about things like 1031 exchange, which allows investors to be able to defer their taxes, 100% of the gains that they have from a real estate property, and transfer those tax deferred into their next real estate investment. Won't go into much detail on that, but you can see the power of these things as it relates to real estate investing. So the first, cash flow; second, second benefit, or in the ways that real estate pays you. We talk about the tax benefit. The third is the around appreciation. These when you buy well bought real estate assets, these assets tend to go up in value, and that appreciation gives you the opportunity to be able to have your investment and see your investment grow over time. You are able to focus on the appreciation of that asset as it continues to increase over time. When you think about it, when you're buying an asset in a market that is growing, that has strong population growth, strong job growth, there's a high demand for your housing. I'll quickly say on the side, like, think about where you live, and wherever the investor that's listening to this podcast right now can look and say, when they looked at their on Zillow, for example, at their home and what it was worth in 2019 versus what it is worth today, the chances are that home is significantly more valuable today than it was just a few years ago. And that appreciation happens also when we're investing in the types of assets that we're focused on. And so when you do that and you invest in these projects, you're able to take advantage of your proportional share of those investments to then get that passive income, or get that passive income from the appreciation from the property as well. And then the last way that I like to tell investors that they can get paid as it relates to this is through the inflation hedging ability of these investments. When we have assets that will be able to store or store the value of the currency, or, as I just mentioned, increase the in value because that asset appreciates over time. That inflation, that little stealthy thief that robs away at the value, the buying power of our dollar, actually it helps us in the case of eroding away from the loans that we take out when it comes to the financing that we get for these properties that we're acquiring. But it also, again, we're able to have those assets appreciate in value, and maintain the value of that dollar that we're using to buy it, enhancing its buying power even more so. And so from an inflation hedging perspective, this really gives us a tremendous advantage as real estate investors to be able to grow our wealth.
Yeah, it generally is going to beat inflation. And I'll add one more, and that is the leverage aspect of it. And as far as I know, it's really the only investment that that we have that. So in other words, equity, generally speaking, going into any property is about 30%, but we get all of the benefits that you've just been talking about, the income, the depreciation, and appreciation on 100% of that investment, rather than just the 30% that we invest in that. And I don't know of any other investment that offers all of those ways of paying that you just mentioned there. So I think it's the ideal investment there. Well, Chris,
That's right.
tell us about Red Fox Multifamily.
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier Marist College, which is where I went to undergraduate. Marist College is a beautiful college up in Poughkeepsie, New York, located right on the Hudson River, and I went there for my undergraduate years. It also happens to be the place where I met my wife. It is a place where we have met many of our dear friends from college, many of which who we still have deep relationships with today. And in fact, as I mentioned earlier, I was a college football player there. The mascot of the school is the Red Fox. And Red Fox Multifamily, we chose to name our company Red Fox Multifamily because of the role that this place had in our lives. And so Red Fox Multifamily is a company that is focused, a real estate investment company that is focused on helping life science industry, pharmaceutical professionals, medical device professionals, healthcare workers in general, an opportunity to invest passively in commercial real estate assets. In particular, we're focusing on multifamily assets. We focus pretty much on partnering with the best operators in the best markets, so that we can bring these opportunities to our investors so that they can evaluate them based off of the relationships that we've built and established with these operators. And then we partner with them to then invest alongside of them in these deals. That's how this works. And we are just committed to doing this and helping make an impact in people's wealth building, and being able to again accomplish that goal of financial freedom is what we want to be able to do.
And so how can they get in touch with you?
So they can get in touch with me by in a couple of ways. The most common way that they can do is that they can go onto my website, redfoxmultifamily.com, and they can learn a little bit more about me beyond what they have here. They can also on that website they'll be guided to a link where they can access a free webinar where I'll talk to them a little bit more about Red Fox Multifamily in particular, but also the benefits and value of investing passively in multifamily real estate investing. And then beyond that, you can reach me on LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn. I'm happy to be connected with you to actually speak with folks there. I love engaging with folks on LinkedIn, and being able to connect there. Those are the two best ways that people can reach out to me.
And you can find that information in our show notes as well. Well, Chris, let's go into our last 4 questions. And just a reminder, these are short answer questions, not essay. So tell us about your most difficult challenge in life. How did you come through that time, and what did you learn from that?
Wow. Well, this is a really good one. I would say one of the most challenging moments that I had in life was actually I'll go back to high school. I was in high school. I thought I was the big man on campus, and I was a basketball player and as well. Long story short here is that our football season, we had a very successful football season that year, which led us into the state semifinals. And during that time, there were basketball tryouts that were going on. I didn't think I needed to try out because I had been on the team already as a freshman and sophomore. And so I didn't, or as a freshman, I didn't think I needed to try out. Well, when I showed up the following week to the practice to try out, the coach actually said, "Well, you missed the tryouts and you're not going to be on the team." And that was a shock to me. But that actually led me to track and field, which that became a love of mine, and I was very successful in it. But it also taught me a lesson about being able to communicate and be accountable for your actions.
Wonderful. Well, share with us 3 good things that you've experienced in the last 24 hours.
Wow. In the last 24 hours, I've had some great opportunities to some personal things. My daughter, she just got recognized for being on the honor roll for this quarter at her school. She's a new sixth grader, so super proud of her for that. Also, she had her school concert just the other evening, where we were able to attend and watch all the hard work that all of these kids and my daughter have been able to put into this, and then also working on a really exciting investment opportunity, and we're finalizing some of the legal documents today to get that investment opportunity out to our investors so that they can have something to look at for an exciting investment opportunity that we have in Houston, Texas.
And how are you putting your success as an investor and entrepreneur to work to create universal well-being?
Yes, well, I'm doing a number of different things. I have, in addition to, working with folks to help them invest passively into real estate investing. One of the things that I noticed when I came into this space is that, man, there's just not a lot of knowledge and awareness of the fact that you can actually do this. And so I've taken advantage of being able to build my own platform to help educate folks, much like you're doing, Alan, with your podcast, and helping to get the word out about passive investing into real estate investing. And I'm also focusing on continuing to expand that, but through other channels. But what's really important to me, about that is that what I focus on is being able to be a blessing to others. I think about all of the blessings that have been bestowed upon me in my life. I want to be able to be a blessing to others, and when I look out to what the work that I'm doing and helping to educate people through my platform and my meetup that I have, wealth mindset and real estate investing meetup, and other platforms that I have, being able to educate people on this and helping them understand how they can do this, and that they don't have to just have their assets tied up in the stock market, and that they can invest passively into real estate investing, is something that I want to be able to do. And I'm doing that. I feel really a lot of gratitude that I'm able to reach many people with this message, and hopefully they can take it on and then make an impact on their lives.
And lastly, Chris, imagine you've come to the end of your life, and as you lay on your deathbed, what do you look back on with your greatest sense of joy and fulfillment?
I'll look back on my family, and the experiences that we've had together, and what we've been able to see and do together. The memories that I've been able to create for them will be some of the things that I absolutely will reflect on. But I just mentioned a moment ago about being a blessing to others. I will reflect on how the impact that I've had while I've been here on this earth, and did I make the most use of my time, and really being an impact and a blessing to other people. I feel that if I'm able to do that, if it's one person, if it's 100 people, being able to be a blessing to others so that they can then go and carry on those blessings in their lives to spread them on, that would be a win for me.
Well, Chris, it's been a delight having you. Thank you for sharing your experience and your wisdom with us. Enlightened investors, thank you so much for being with us again today. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and head over to Apple Podcast and leave us a rating and review. Until next time, live abundantly, and we'll see you in the next episode. Enlightened investors, wait, don't go just yet. I just want to remind you about our recently launched webinar, that you will not want to miss. If you're at all curious and would like to learn more about how real estate investing can diversify your investment portfolio, alleviate the anxiety associated with Wall Street swings, leverage your 401ks and IRAs to substantially increase the return on your investment, and do all of this with turnkey, hands-off, passive real estate investments, then you'll want to immediately go to stevetalker.com/webinar. In the webinar, we'll also address the common dubious investment schemes that you want to avoid. To access the webinar, go to stevetalker.com/webinar. I look forward to seeing you in the webinar.
Thank you for tuning in to Real Estate Investing Abundance, brought to you by Steve Talker Capital, a company working for passionate professionals like you to develop financial independence built on solid, passive real estate investments. As part of our efforts to make the world a better place, Steve Talker Capital contributes to activities and organizations committed to better understand the equine. These endeavors attempt to enhance the human treatment of horses worldwide. Steve Talker Capital, working for a world where all creatures, great and small, flourish abundantly. For resources to develop your financial independence, connect with us at stevetalker.com.